It was like extra. I just like caught myself. Like,
What's your name over there again? I'm sorry.
Amanda.
Amanda. Damn it.
So this is like a meeting. Like I introduce myself. Like I'm in an Alcoholics.
If you want.
Like
yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's
it
for
is.
Cover Out Loud. It is a meeting. Like
Whoa.
it's not necessarily
Whoa.
12 steps, but you can talk about 12.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Victor. Hi, iPhone. Hi, Hannah. Hula.
Do you need it?
Hi, Chad. Hopeaholics. Hi, Marisol.
Juice it off my computer.
Liz. G. Tiffany.
My wife.
Joel. Victor. Kat. Jennifer. Ashley. Kate. Brooke. Hey, Brooke. Ava.
Hi guys.
Is that it?
Joel,
People are just,
Bianca, Mr. G.
how come it seems off? Ooh, it seems weird today.
They changed the layout.
Who did?
The Zoom.com.
They did. It seems really weird. Like I don't even recognize anybody. Is that Joelle?
I like it way better.
Is that Laura? Is that David from 3A? Is that I don't recognize anybody now.
What?
I feel lost.
You are.
I have to recalibrate because this is
Shane,
confusing.
you're just lost daily.
Is that Ian? Oh my
Yep,
goodness.
there's Ian.
Oh my goodness.
Where's Meeks?
Wow.
Wait, Meeks. What?
This is all kerfuffled.
They changed the whole layout of the
Wait,
screen.
Meeks
Did
is
any-
Maxine?
The whole screen is different.
Yeah? Okay.
David made me feel better with the hearts, but I'm still kerfuffled. Wow. Joe, what's Joe doing? Is he playing with socks? He's doing laundry. Joe's doing laundry. Joe, good for
No.
Joe.
Why are you?
We are
That's
happy.
Amazing.
I say that's amazing. Joe, are you married? No, I got some girls, bro. I'll introduce you. If you're doing clothes, you must cook. No. You want a boyfriend? Boys, that's fine. Boys, girls, that don't matter. I got good guys on both sides.
He said he's got
Oh, he's
good.
got a girlfriend. He's good.
Oh my God.
no time.
Is this how this meeting starts?
No time.
Is this how this meeting starts? I'm gonna get us rolling. I want to thank everybody for showing up to the Recover Out Loud meeting.
Yeah. Welcome.
How about this? Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
this is awesome.
We really appreciate everybody showing
Yeah.
up. I don't like to take a lot of time anymore going over everything, but the one thing I do want to always remember the reason why the Hopeaholics podcast exists is because I lost my son-in-law on 9/11 of 2022 to the fentanyl crisis, and that is the whole reason that the Hopeaholics podcast was created. It was when we all decided to join the Recover Out Loud movement so that other people know, man, that hope is alive still.
Live, and it's
And that
really what
helped.
we're about today.
Yeah.
That's really the driving force, the heater of what we do today.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we just add on to that heater.
exactly.
That's it. That's the heater. That's the engine right there.
So, yeah. Shane,
Yeah, bro.
what's happening?
I'm all pumped up.
yeah.
I'm all pumped up.
How come?
Why? Because I had a great morning. I had a great day, and then I hit the gym for about an hour just before the meeting.
So I want to know if any of you all have seen Shane's reels that he's been putting out lately.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really good. If you don't follow him, follow
Thank you for that, Shane.
at
Really appreciate-
Shane
Wow.
Earn.
Thanks, guys.
At Shane Earn.
That's like earn a living.
Yeah.
You can
Go ahead and go like and comment on
Yeah.
his stuff because it's fun.
and then send money.
Yeah. And
or stuff. You know what I mean? Headphones, pens, pencils, paper, notes.
his address is.
Yeah, my
Subscribe to his OnlyFans.
He does have that, but only one subscriber so far.
my wife.
He's the only fan.
yeah, I know,
He's-
that's true.
it's him subscribing to himself.
Yeah.
He's got his
Yes.
own OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's bad.
So it is what it
Sad,
is, but
true.
you know,
Private
it's
page.
progress.
Yeah,
So we got a really, really, really great speaker tonight,
Ricky.
Ricky
The first thing I think about when I hear the name Ricky,
Bobby.
Bobby,
Me too.
immediately.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
'cause
That's what I think when people call me by my
That's the
name.
same thing, right?
like if you're not first, you're last.
Right.
Right?
You know,
And there's no such thing as second.
right?
I was
Yeah.
high when I said that, man.
Holy smokes.
I guess Shane and I are like all jacked up today and amped out, and
Yeah.
Natalie's just sitting on her computer typing. So
Well,
I don't
I'm
know what's
trying
going
to
on
get
here.
into
The Zoom.
Come at you like Spider Monkey.
I'm like,
Yes.
I like need Emily's help, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Wow. Doesn't it look like this guy's
But I
wearing a
made-
hat?
I made
He's
it.
there's a house in the background, but looks like he's wearing a hat. The one in the red. Oh, there, Michael.
It's a green screen.
Green screen. That's a green screen.
Michael
Looks like-
Burns.
Michael Burns.
Hey guys, just a reminder that we'll all be in New York City on Times Square
August?
on August 21st
August 21st.
for Fentanyl Awareness Day.
Yeah. We're doing a. What are we doing up there? We're doing a.
We're doing a thing.
Said.
Well, what's it called though? It's a press release. Press release.
Yeah, but it's for the fentanyl awareness. So if anybody's in New York or you want to fly to New York and meet us there,
Yeah.
all are welcome.
All are welcome. As a matter of fact, wow. I was about to say, if you guys want to show up, anyone from this meeting show up, we will take you for dinner.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
If you guys show up in this meeting at New York, we will take y'all for dinner. Or maybe dinner's a little expensive. Maybe lunch. We'll see what happens. Maybe breakfast. We don't know yet. A snack for sure. A snack. snacks and drinks on me for sure.
Half sandwich, cup of soup.
We would take you to dinner. Come
Dinner?
on,
All right,
Shane.
that's
All right,
fine.
guys, let's get this meeting started. Ricky, you are up. You got about 20, 25 minutes. There will be a clock up there. Your camera's right over here. So
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
And you're on, man.
You're on,
All
baby.
right. So I have a sobriety date of July 18, 2020. I got sober right in the middle of COVID, which was kind of convenient, I guess, because all the bars were closed, I don't know, taking it back, like, I guess there was no real reason why I should have been an alcoholic. I mean, I had pretty young parents, but they always did the best they could. My mom was around, my dad was around, like, they split up when I was kind of young, and then, my mom got remarried, and he was a good dude. He took care of us and, provided. And I don't know, man, I think that really, like, for me, it kind of started with, like, resentments, like I started to develop resentments way before I ever took a drink of alcohol, and just the world around me, like, I just always felt like, I was just never the best at anything. I was never really the best. Like, I was all like, I would play hockey, and I wasn't the best at hockey. I would skateboard. I wasn't the best at skateboarding. I would always do these things, and I was just never the best at anything. And I think that's why when I started to party, I really loved it because it was really easy to be good at. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you weren't that guy throwing up in the backyard, you know what I mean? Or that guy that was overdosing, like, you were pretty good at taking drugs and drinking, And so I kind of gravitated towards that at some point. I got really into, like, punk rock when I was, like, 12 years old. A friend of mine, he showed me some old albums and gave me some patches for my jacket and stuff, and I just remember looking at these albums, flipping through the pages and looking at these guys with mohawks and leather jackets and combat boots, and I was like, man, I really want to be that, and I dedicated my life to, like, looking like that, and there's this whole, like, mindset behind punk rock, and it's like, fuck the system, fuck religion, and fuck society, basically, and at 12 years old, I developed those principles, and so I had a problem with the people around me, the world around me, the way things were. I had these political views. I was a vegetarian. I wouldn't eat meat. I was just angry, and when I started to drink, I remember the first time. It's so weird because it's like I have all these things in my life that I love. Like I love skateboarding, right? But I don't remember the first time I rode a skateboard. I was in a punk band. I don't remember the first show we played. But I remember the first time I drank a beer. It was Mickey 40, right? And we drank it at this chick garage. And I remember, like, I was buzzed before I even hit the label. And I drank that whole thing, and it was the best night ever. And I made out with a girl, and we went to a house party, and we did all these things, and it was the best time ever. And this is like before cell phone. Well, I didn't have a cell phone. This was kind of before it was, everyone had cell phones, and I didn't go home that night, so I didn't call my mom. I didn't check in. And the next day, my stepdad showed up to my friend's house. He knew where we were. He showed up, and he was pissed, and I got grounded for 2 weeks. And so I immediately knew I didn't like the consequences of alcohol, but I liked the effects produced by it. So any chance I got, I was trying to get drunk. As long as I wasn't going to get busted, like, I'm going to get drunk. And I did that for a long time, and then I, eventually found out it, like, smoking weed was cool, so and that's, like, something I can do and go to school. You know what I mean? I can't go to school drunk, but I can go to school high on marijuana. That's easy, So I did that, and then, somehow I got a diploma. I graduated, and, I got a job that I hated. I hated clocking in. I hated taking lunch. I hated dealing with people. I hated all that stuff, and I started selling drugs. That was just the go-to. There was this guy in my neighborhood, and he's all, yeah, dude, why don't you have friends that smoke weed, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why don't you just sell weed? And I was like, that's an amazing idea. You know, why don't I just do that? And quit my job, started selling drugs. Parents kicked me out, you know, and I remember like this guy, I went to this guy's pad to sell him a bag of weed, right? And he was like, hey, you wanna have a beer? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, we're gonna roll a blunt, have a beer. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, I'm like 18, right? And he's like, yeah, cool. We're drinking a beer. We're smoking some weed. And he's like, you wanna do a line of cocaine? I'm like, yes, I do want to do that. You know, we did a little line of cocaine, and we're talking, we're going, you know, we're talking about all these business ideas. We're gonna flip cars, and we're gonna, you know what I mean, all these crazy ideas. We're high on coke, you know. And he's all, yeah, man, you want to do a hot rail? And I was like, what's that? And he's all, it's when you heat up a glass tube and you snort a line and blow out a cloud of smoke. And I was like, that sounds amazing. Let's do that, you know. And I did a hot rail and blew it out. And I'm like, oh, I hurt my. I was like, what is that? He's all, it's crystal meth, man. And I'm like, I love crystal meth now, you know. And I just spent the rest of my life trying to feel like I felt at that point in time, you know. And for many years it worked, you know. And I just my two solutions was alcohol and methamphetamines. You know, as long as I have both of those things, I can do anything. I can function in society. I can accomplish my goals. I can do all these things. And like, I remember being like, you know, 20 years old with an apartment and a job and a car and you know, all these things. And like, and I turned 21, you know, and like I when I was 20, I wasn't so on drugs yet. I was kind of like, you know, just dabbling in different things, you know, and I turned 21 and I was so excited to buy alcohol legally. I just started doing it all the time, you know, buying alcohol all the time. I celebrated my 21st birthday till I was like 25, you know, just a nonstop party, right? And then the drugs and the alcohol, and it just became an everyday thing. And, you know, it was like, I had shit, you know, I had a girl, I had a car, I had a pad, I had money, I had a bank account, I had all those things, right? And it was a solution. Like I was getting promotions, I was doing all these things that, you know, I was learning different trades, and I was like getting side jobs, and I was doing all this stuff, right? And like, I don't know what happens to us, you know, but we cross this threshold at some point, right? That we can't go back, you know? And for me, I always obsessed on the fact that like, I'm going to reverse this. I'm going to figure out a way to like go back to being 21 when I had it all. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't work that way. You know, when I took 3 years sober, this guy that helped me out in the beginning, you know, he said this thing to me that like really blew me away. You know, he's all, yeah, you got 3 years sober. You're 33. You got sober when you were 30. You're 33 now. You know, in those 3 years that you've been sober, how much has your life changed? And I was like, dude, my life has like gotten like progressively better each year. You know, my first year of sobriety was a little rocky, but I got through it. You know, my second year of sobriety, I got an apprenticeship at a tattoo shop and I apprenticed for a year. My third year of sobriety, I was a professional tattooer, tattooing full time. This is my fourth year of sobriety, you know what I mean? And I'm like a partner in a tattoo shop now. I'm like one of the owners. You know what I'm saying? So in like those 4 years that I've been in sobriety, like my life, each year there's a milestone. You know what I mean? It's crazy, right? And he's all, so when you were 27 to when you were 30, before you got sober, in those 3 years, how much did your life change? And I'm like, holy shit, man, it got progressively worse every year. You know what I mean? Like 27 was like, I'm moving back to mom's house. You know what I mean? Which is not what you should be doing at 27. I'm moving back to mom's. I lost my job, moving back to mom's. The chick threw me out. You know what I mean? 28, I'm doing crime. 29, I'm going to jail and looking at a 10-year prison term. That was those 3 years. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't know what happens. I don't know where it changes, you know. What I do know is like, you know, the alcohol and the drugs, there's a little bit of a difference. There's not much, you know. Like for me, I never drank a beer and thought like, I want to go steal some mail right now. You know what I mean? Like I never had those kinds of thoughts, but like once you start doing drugs, you're like, well, that sounds like fun. Let's go rob some people in broad daylight. You know what I mean? It's just like the thoughts are different, you know? But for me, like I always thought, like if I'm drinking and partying, I'm having a good time, I'm not a total loser, like it's cool. You know what I mean? I can just do meth to stay up all night and drink a bunch of alcohol, you know? But then I wake up in the morning and I go straight to the pipe and then I'm going to work. It's like it got out of control really fast, you know? And I remember like the last run that I had, you know, I got out, so I went to jail, right? I did all these crimes and I didn't think that they were a big deal, you know, at the time. it was like we were just kind of doing some little small stuff, and then it turned into like these big things that like I was like, okay, it's like wedding crashers, you know what I mean? Like it's frowned upon, but it's not technically illegal. Well, it turns out what we were doing was like residential burglary, you know what I mean? And yeah, and it was like, oh, we're going to open houses and we're just taking jewelry and that's it, you know what I mean? And I didn't think it was a big deal, but we ended up getting caught for it. And when I got busted, they had like this, wanted poster with my face on it, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, like this is real, and this is you, right? I'm like, oh, that's not me, that guy's got a mustache, that's not me, you know what I mean? And it was me, and I remember going to jail, and I had been to jail a couple times, but it was never for anything big. It was always for like just small stuff. I'm getting released on Monday, no big deal, but this was like I go to jail and all of a sudden I'm getting processed through the and I'm going to this and I'm going to court, and I'm like, dude, when am I getting out of here? And they're like, we can't give you any information on your case. And this happened for like 3 months in there. They wouldn't even tell me why I was there, and until it was there finally like, all right, your first offer on the table is 10 years in prison. And I'm like, dude, 10 years for what? And they gave me my discovery, and my discovery was huge. It was all these things, right? And I was like, dude, how did I let this happen? You know what I mean? Like it just happened. I got way in too deep, way too fast. And and I'm not like a criminal. I mean, I was, but I'm not like I don't take pride in like hurting people, and I'm not a gang member, and I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just a dumbass that likes to party, and I got wrapped up into some dumbass shit. Like that's it, And 10 years in prison that scared the crap out of me, and like I remember hearing this thing when I got to rehab, like frothy emotional appeal, like what that means to you, and for me it's like some people can get served divorce papers and get sober. Some people can lose their dream job and get sober. Some people can have their mom say, you know what, I'm never talking to you again unless you fix some stuff, and that'll get you sober. There's people like that. The real alcoholic, someone like me, right? None of those things will get me sober, ever, period, right? I cannot do it on my own power. I cannot do it. So sitting there in jail, I'm thinking to myself, if I ever get out of here, right? If I ever make it out of here, I'm never going to steal. I'm never going to lie. I'm never going to cheat. I'm never going to get loaded again. And they finally told me after like 7 months of being in there, they're like, well, we're going to give you 2 strikes, 5-year ESS, 5 years probation, so if you mess up probation, you're going to go to prison, all these things. And I'm like, great, where do I sign? Get me out of here. Immediately when I got out, I'm like, I can have a beer. Right? Immediately when I got out, I can have a beer. I just can't get loaded. It wasn't that long after that until I wasn't checking into probation with a needle in my arm. Like, not that far away, And once again, I'm like, okay, if I, whatever. And it's like, I couldn't figure it out on my own. And I wasn't checking into probation. I was getting loaded, and COVID happened. And they told me like, okay, you can't check into probation, right?
Wow.
For 2 weeks. Physically, you can't drug test. And I'm like, great, because I'm high, right? And I told my buddy, I'm like, hey, dude, can I come crash on your couch for like 2 weeks while we're on lockdown? And he's like, yeah, bro, like, come on down, dude. Like, let's party, So I went to his pad. That everyone knows that's 2 weeks on lockdown turned into like 6 months, right?
Yeah.
At least, right? And doing the same shit I was doing before I got there, right? Immediately, like all that fear, all that like anxiety of like probably going to prison for a good chunk of my life, like went away. I'm like, whatever, And I don't know, man, like I got to a really dark place, like right before I went to rehab, like I had 0 friends, I had that one guy, you know what I mean? Which was like in my ear, like, dude, just go to rehab, But he's loaded, and he's like, just go to, and he's actually like come back in my life, and I'm actually helping him get into rehab right now.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it's come full circle, and he's like, go to this place. And so I went to this place called Woodglen in Fullerton, and I checked in. And I went through the detox, and like I didn't know I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anything about AA. I didn't know anything about the steps. I didn't know shit about sobriety. I just knew that like I didn't want what I had. I remember before I went to rehab, I was sitting in the Embassy Suites in Santa Ana by myself with an ounce of fresh dope and a box of brand new needles, and I couldn't hit a vein, and I couldn't get high, and I'm like in tears, and I'm just like broken. Like a grown man, just broken, and I knew I was done. I just didn't know how to stop. And so I got to the rehab, and they programmed the book big there. They're like, you have to get a sponsor. You have to do all 12 steps. You have to do this, and I got there, and it's like I saw something in the guys that showed up there that really like it really stuck out to me. I was like, these guys are just like me, you know. A lot of them have done time. A lot of them, you know, they do the same drugs I do. They do and like I always thought AA was gonna be like these crusty old white dudes in a small room smoking cigarettes, eating donuts. Like that doesn't sound anything I want to be a part of. And these guys just made it look attractive, you know. And I got busy. And I remember being there and like when I showed up there, like I had this mentality of like there's no such thing as God. Like I don't believe in God. People that believe in God are weak. You can't believe in God. You hide behind religion because you're afraid to like, you know, whatever, right? But for me, it was like, if there is a God, I'm screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how I live my life, right? So if there is a God, that gets in the way of the way I live my life. I can't have a God. It doesn't make sense for me to have a God. So I get there with that idea, right? And they tell me, and I knew it. And I was like, he's like, yeah, you got to admit you're powerless, right? And then you got to find a higher power. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew this was some kind of culty, crazy, religious. He says, it's not religious. It's just you gotta. It can't be you, and it can't be somebody else. Can't be the chick. It can't be whatever, right? It's got to be you. And I'm like, all right, I can get jiggy with that. All right. So I remember sitting in group, right, and like the first couple of weeks I was there, I didn't want to be there. I wanted to bounce, but I knew that if I left, they were going to call my PO and I was going to go to prison. Like I already knew that was what was going to happen. It wasn't a maybe. Like they told me, like your PO is going to send you away if you leave. That's how it goes. So I remember sitting in the group and I'm like on step 2 or 3 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, you know, find a God of my understanding, like offer myself to God. Like, how do I do that? Like, I don't even believe in God, you know? And I'm like staring at the wall and I'm kind of just tripping out, you know? And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, God, you know, if I'm having this conversation with God in my head, you know, and I'm like, if you exist, you know, give me an earthquake right now, you know, show me that you're real. And, you know, nothing happened, right? And a couple hours later, we're getting ready for bed, and and I don't know if anyone's familiar with Woodglen here, but it's like this old house, right? And the men sleep upstairs, and it's like from the 1800s. It's just this old house. And I'm upstairs, and I'm laying in my bunk, and all of a sudden the room starts to shake, right? And I'm like, and everyone's like, it's an earthquake. And everyone starts running downstairs. And I'm like laying on the bed going like, no way, dude. Like, cool. You know what I mean? Like this crazy spiritual experience where I'm like kind of disappointed. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I just asked for that. God gave it to me. And like, now I kind of got to believe in God, dude. I just kind of got suckered into this God thing, you know? And I don't know, man, for me, that was like a very profound spiritual experience that I had. And like, I tell that story. I do a lot of public speaking, and I tell that story a lot. And some people are like, you can't pray for an earthquake. That's not a spiritual experience. I'm like, I don't know, dude. That's between me and God. Like, I'm not going to tell everyone, like, if you go pray for an earthquake, it's going to happen. Like, I don't know. But for me, like, that was a turning point in my recovery, you know, because I'd be foolish to, like, go through something like that and be like, no, God doesn't exist, you know? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, it's like when we share this message, you know, and it's like, that's what I love about, like, what you guys are doing here, you know, like, I've been watching a lot of the podcasts, you know, I've been like, you know, watching you guys, and it's like the message you bring. It's like, I remember being out there and thinking like, there's no way I can reverse this. I didn't know about rehab. I thought rehab was like, you had to have hundreds of thousands of dollars and have connections in Malibu. And like, That's how you get into rehab. You have to be a celebrity or something. I didn't know it was possible for someone like me, you know? And, that's what I love about what you guys are doing, because it's like you bring these people in here and you give this hope, and it's like so many examples of lives changing, you know, families reuniting, people like it's like you can't have that many examples and it not be real. It doesn't make sense. I'm a numbers guy, right? I'm a science guy. I'm a numbers guy. Like you have to show me I have to see it to believe it. And it's like, dude, this is like on a daily basis. You're watching these things. You're seeing these clips on Instagram. You're hearing testimonies. You're going to meetings. You're doing all these things. And you're like, dude, why would people want to show up here and tell you, like, I'm not getting paid to do this. Why would I want to show up here and be like, and lie to you? You know what I mean? Like I'm doing this because like I'm a satisfied customer, and I want to shout this shit from the rooftops and be like, hey, there's a way out. Yeah. You don't have to keep ruining your life over something that is like totally easy to stop, you know? And I understand in the beginning it's not easy to stop, you know, or if you're like me, it's easy to stop for like a day or two, and then staying stopped is like, how do I do that? You know, oh, I got to cut off all my friends. I got to stop going to the places I go to. Like, you know what I mean? Like for me, it was like, I was so hopped up on speed that I'm like, well, if I get off, I'm going to sleep so long, I'll lose my job. That's just my mentality. Like where am I going to sleep for 2 weeks and sleep it off? It's just not possible, you know? But it's like, it's so possible, and it's so cool. And I mean, my life doesn't even resemble the old life, like in any way. Like there's some things about my character I don't think will change. You know what I mean? Like I can go to church and hear the word of Jesus, but I'm going to listen to Slayer on the way there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's some fundamental things about me that I don't think will ever change. But like when it comes down to it, like that psychic change that they talked about, or like the paradigm shift or the personality changes, like there's so many things where I'm like, you know, like the way I view the world and the way I view other people is like, you know, I'm not always inspired, and there's some people that rub me the wrong way, and I can get irritated and I can get pissed, just like, you know, whatever. But it's like I'm quick to like check myself, you know, and am I wrong? Am I, you know what I mean? Am I overthinking this, or where, you know? And it's like I always wanted to get sober and change nothing else in my life.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't work that way, you know. And for me, it's like the big things, like just God, like that, just the God part, like. I mean, I've seen people change their lives just by going to church. You know what I mean? And like that works for some people. I don't knock religion or anything. Like I can go to church and hear the word of Jesus, and I can go do some spiritual meditation and read the heart of the Buddha. You know, like I can do that today. You know what I mean? And like I was never open minded to any of that stuff. And it's like, it's so crazy. Like I was telling my girlfriend, like, a couple of weeks ago, we went to No Values, you know, the concert, right? And we're like pitting, and we're having this crazy, we were having this great time and that. And I'm like, yeah, I got to go to a meditation tomorrow morning, and like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's so crazy that we can do that. Like, we can go do this thing all day, punk rock all day long, and then I'm like, tomorrow I'm waking up, I'm going to a meditation, and I'm gonna do like some breath works, at, you know, at the beach later on. You know what I mean? And it's like, who am I, dude? You know? But I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, like, I really only associate with people that are like trying to change their life, that are in the program, you know, like all my friends are sober, like a lot of my family's sober now. You know, my roommates are sober. There's really only a couple of exceptions, you know, like I work in a tattoo shop, so there's a couple of guys that I work with that aren't, they're not like shooting dope in the bathroom or anything, but they're like, they drink and smoke weed, you know. There's another buddy of mine that I talk to on a daily basis. He still drinks, you know, but it's like, you know, I mean, I call him 2 in the afternoon. He's like, well, I'm drinking a tall can in the garage. I'm like, dude, we were doing that shit 15 years ago. You still do, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know what I mean? He's my friend, you know what I mean? But like, if you're not really trying to walk this path, like, you know, or willing to try, you know what I mean? Like newcomers or whatever, like I'm always there to like help people, you know, get into the program. Like I'm well connected with the Woodglen place. You know, I go there a lot. I volunteer there. I lead groups there, and you know, I try to help new guys and just do exactly how it was done for me. You know, I try to be that beacon and that conduit to sobriety, you know, and it's like, as long as I keep doing that, my life is extremely easy. Like extremely easy. Like the things that I'm able to do in my life that I didn't ever think were possible were like these little opportunities just pop up, you know, and it's like, hey, here's this thing in your life. You want to try this? And I'm like, yeah, and it works out. I'm like, holy crap, how did I do that? You know, and I know that it's not me. I can't take credit for that. I have to give it to the program and my higher power. Like I have to, you know, not take credit for those things, you know, because I know that on my own will, I'm that guy in the embassy suites with a bunch of dope that can't get high. That's, you know what I mean? That's who I am, you know? And I don't know, man, like, I just love this thing, you know, and I love the fellowship. I love the people around me. I love the life I get to live, you know, and I really love what you guys are doing with this thing. You know, you're taking it to places that like normally people might not see it, you know, and it's not like, you know, it's not hidden underground. We're like, you know, it's a thing we're keeping a secret and we're not trying to share it, you know, and it's like you guys are all over the place. You guys are huge. Like that's so awesome that this is becoming cool. You know what I mean? It's like, this is like, we're reversing it.
Yes.
Like I remember when I was younger,
Yes.
like it's cool to be a drug dealer. It's
Yes.
cool to go to jail. It's cool to get, you know what I mean? And you guys are like, no, like
That's
eat right. Go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's because Tupac, Snoop Dogg, all those guys
Yeah.
told us it was cool.
It was cool. But drugs were different back then.
They
too.
sure the hell were,
was-
man.
it
People
was
weren't
different.
fucking dying at the rate of 300 people every single day.
Yeah.
You know?
It was way different back
Way
then.
different.
You know? And yeah, I mean that's really all I have to share on that. So thank you guys
Damn,
for having
dude.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. You know,
Breath of fresh air.
breath of fresh
Yeah,
air,
dude.
man. I just want everybody in the comments to start just give me some feedback on how good you thought this was, because for me, this was exactly what I needed to hear.
Yeah, you're
See,
not
I don't
getting-
owe you
so
any money,
don't-
bro.
Yeah, you're not
Huh?
getting any
I don't
money.
owe you a fucking penny.
I didn't say that I felt better.
No, you did. You're
No, you
smiling.
did.
Look at you. You just
Yeah,
did.
did.
You finished.
You know what? F Shane.
I owe you
guys.
nothing.
F
I won.
I don't feel better. Can I get $25?
Yeah, he doesn't feel
No,
any
you
better.
feel great,
he
but
already
you're
felt good when he
I
come
know.
in here, though.
Yeah.
Smiling,
better
your
than
cheeks
that.
are sore. No way, bro. Your cheeks are sore. You know, you should pay me.
I'll tell you what, I could really, really relate to your story, and scroll down because he said something that I really
Satisfied character?
a customer.
Satisfied customer.
Like that is my favorite
I
thing
like
that you
that.
said.
Yeah.
I haven't ever heard that before, and I too am a satisfied customer.
We're all
going to
steal it.
Yeah, forever.
Forever.
Yeah. I'll just say it. So I'm gonna say it 2 more times. I am a satisfied customer.
I'm a satisfied customer. I'm a satisfied customer.
I'm a satisfied customer.
I got it
I
first.
win.
I'm a satisfied customer.
This is not a sales pitch.
Shit.
But it's true though, because you do go in the meetings and then you hear like I thought the same where I'm like it can't be possible that this many people on different occasions at different places are saying the same thing, and all of it is like I'm a grateful alcoholic and
You're like, shut
this
up.
and, yeah. So it's like, and then here I am. I'm satisfied.
I really did. I was so broken the first time I walked into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. I had nowhere else to turn, and I was a shy, young boy that thought he was a drug dealer and a thug, and
Right.
I thought I was tough.
Yeah.
because I had 2 tattoos.
Yes.
This was 1996. December of 96, I walked in my first meeting of Narcotics Anonymous. I had to test the water a few more times along my journey, but nothing has been better in my life than recovery. Like just like your life, my life has progressively gotten better every single year that I stay clean. And I will tell you, I've relapsed and my life progressively got worse. Quickly. My misery was refunded in full.
Immediately.
Yes. So like for me, the end days, because I like meth too, and I like putting it in my veins, and
For sure.
I immediately become a CIA agent,
Right.
Straight to fucking psychosis, and
They're outside.
yeah, dude. And I'm like, everybody's the FBI, and I work for the CIA, and they're trying to stop me from doing my mission, and whatever the fuck that mission is, and
Getting
that
a 10 sec.
only the meth addicts. are
Only the
laughing at that.
meth.
But I could really relate to your story. I really appreciate you coming down and
Yeah,
sharing that
happy
with
to
us.
do it.
We really do, and I like what you said too about, what we're doing is a movement. Recover Out Loud is a movement. I don't think we need to stay. If you want to stay anonymous, totally fine, totally good with that. We're not breaking any traditions by doing this stuff. I'm not spouting that I'm a member of anywhere. I'm a member of recovery, man.
Right.
And recovery works if you work
Well,
it.
times have changed too. Like, we're not doing it on the radio where you have to hear it. Like, people want to hear this. They're
Yeah.
tuning in. This is
Their choice.
It's their choice. They
Yep.
want to hear it.
Yeah.
It's a Zoom meeting, and we're able to reach places, like I said, that you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's cool. It's not like we're getting paid to
it's
endorse
a-
it or
and it's
what.
a-
You know what I mean?
But
not
it's
to-
super important for people to see that are struggling and at that moment of because nobody wakes up and wants to go into NAAA.
That's
Like,
scary.
sorry, you're at your lowest point in your life. I'm pretty sure that everybody in this chat can relate to that because I never wanted to be in
This is an easier stepping stone.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they need to see people like yourself all tatted up. They need to see somebody with pink hair. They need to
Right.
see tatted up dude.
Yeah.
Like it's not
I
that
also can put on a suit,
Yeah.
and you would never know.
I look silly in a suit.
no, but it's important.
I think you look pretty
that-
cool with
Somebody told me I
tattoos
look
on
like
the
Buzz Lightyear in a suit. I was like, what the hell, dude? It's like, that's crazy.
But it's important because one, obviously addiction doesn't discriminate, but also two, it's like, everybody needs to see that everybody can do this. This is not just like for a specific type of person. It's like literally if you're an addict or an alcoholic, you can do this too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and live a life beyond your wildest dreams.
We
man.
can reach our full potential. this
Yeah.
way. We can't do it otherwise.
No.
I realized, that when I was like 23 and I had those small things and I was making those little goals, right? Like that was the best it was going to get for me.
That was the peak, baby.
That was it. that was the best I was gonna get. Is working as a drywaller with making cash and driving a Dodge Neon and renting a $500 room. That was the best it was gonna get for me because that was the pinnacle of my career. That was it. You know?
The best for me was Motel 6. I was
Nice.
usually in a way worse one, or in a stolen vehicle.
Yes.
So let's open it up, man. I love to hear what everybody has to say. This is one of my favorite parts of the meeting. We got Kate from 3A ready to rock and roll.
Oh my gosh. Can you let someone else go first and just call back on me? I'm just driving my friend back home, and I'd just rather share when she's out of the car.
For sure.
Of course.
Safety first.
Um,
That's Meeks.
Maxine. We're gonna call her Maxine tonight.
Nice.
Hi, Maxine.
So, hi. All right. So, last night in 3A, thank you for your share, by the way, so much. That was, like Chad said, like exactly what the doctor ordered. And 3A last night, we spoke about the importance of carrying our message. And then today, I also listened to the Jeremy podcast he does every 11 minutes, which is something that's very close to my heart. When I started following him, I immediately figured out that I could get these reels to go viral, which is important because I put I don't know why I'm shaking. It's just that the facts and dangers of illicit fentanyl is so fucking important, right? And what I know how to do is educate, spread awareness, get people together. I used to work for AmeriCorps. I used to do a lot of things, right? Even in my active addiction, I was always trying to do something to help someone when really I needed to help myself, right? But now I'm in this position where I get to bring all my skills and what I actually am good at. Talking about myself in a positive way is so fucking weird. But this is an amazing thing that I've been brought into. I've been opened up to this. I was silently recovering, and now I'm able to bring my message with a strong sense of self and a strong sense of community behind me. That's I don't even, it's just so important, because for me it's just so one person doesn't have to feel alone, right? One more person can relate to me or feel welcome, feel like they belong to something. Because for me, that was what I always was missing. That was a missing link for me. Just someone put it as searching for identity, or when you lose yourself, you're always searching for it, even though it's right here the whole time, right? So if we can just instill courage in each other, how powerful is that? To encourage someone to keep going in the times when they really feel they can't, that's really powerful. That's important to me. Stigmas, right? I feel that the importance of recovering out loud, right, is so that we do break these stigmas that revolve around mental health, that kept us sick for so long. If I maybe had addressed, if my mental health was addressed differently, right? If I wasn't told that pills would make things better my whole life, maybe my mentality would have been different. If we get to these kids before they even get to addiction, we can do mental health. Sorry. All right. Love you guys. You're going to cut me off, but love you guys. Anyway, I believe in mental health prevention, right? Mental health intervention, so we can prevent addiction. We got to get to these kids in middle schools and talk to them before they even, go experiment, because that's not a thing. You don't do that. You tell the kids there's no such thing. There's no such thing as recreational use. Everything has fentanyl in it. Period. That's it.
Period.
Love you guys.
Period, queen.
All right, how about are we shooting over to Bex from Ottawa, Canada? Because yesterday was Canada Day. How do you say it?
Yeah,
Canada Day.
Canadian. It was a beer
Yeah, it
drinking day for
was.
the Canadians.
I was gonna say Happy Canada Day to Shane and to all the
Yeah,
Canadians.
thank you,
in,
Bex. Thank you.
in the
Happy
chat,
Canada,
'cause
everybody.
There's a couple of us.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, it was a nice Canada Day. It was a sober Canada Day. It helps to be in a treatment center. Um, it was chill. I'm not allowed to go anywhere yet. I'm still in the buddy system, or I call it the babysitters club. So I can't go to anywhere by myself, but that's okay. I go to a lot of meetings. I get babysitters to take me to those. So tonight I was going to go to one, and I was like, I'm going to be too burnt out because I'm trying to do. I still want to do as many meetings as possible, but I still have groups during the day, and it just becomes a lot. So I'm really happy to be at this one. I was talking to a newcomer I met in a meeting, and another Canadian. He's here tonight, so I won't call him out, but just happy to see, attraction. Attraction and a little bit of promotion goes a long way, which is why I'm here, because Joelle told me about Hopeaholics, and I can relate to the share in a lot of ways. I'm a happy, satisfied customer too. Everything anyone has said to me since like getting recovered this time, I'm on day 81, and I've just said yes to everything, including listen to the Hopeaholics, come to the Hopeaholics meeting. Thank you, Joelle. And that's why I'm here. And recovery really is, it's really easy and happy compared to like the misery of using. But honestly, I think it's just because I have something to do every time I start to even think about drugs. I've got such a big support net of doing everything I was told, including working a program. And I've learned most of that from my 3A family, and and from the rooms now, because I realize that like I need to work a program too. But these recovery meetings are awesome because they're fun. You know what I mean? And I just got to my 4th step, and it's not super fun. This is the first time I've been like, do I have to? Kind of when someone starts telling me, next thing to do is this, and I'm like, okay, and how long do I have to do this? Can I wait till the very last minute? What's the last minute that I can just squeeze all this in ADHD style? So started on that today, resentments, which was the first thing you brought up in the talk. So that was like, boom, better open up my ears. I also really resonated with getting kind of tricked into taking my drug level up the scale. I was vaporizing cocaine oil. I wasn't smoking crack until I realized I was smoking crack. So, but I was doing lines and drinking for years, and it's progressive, it's chronic, it gets worse. And I think, my life was miserable, but I didn't know misery until I started vaporizing cocaine oil. So between that and yeah, I think that was an awesome share. That's the part that I really resonated with the most. The fact that you guys are out here helping people. I'm still on a scale where I have to like try and remember that I've got to help myself first, and I'm trying to like really find friendship in things now that I'm like kind of out of the woods a little bit. Like I'm just enjoying my new friends. I got a new phone. I got a new phone number. I have all these people. So if you're new, reach out in the chat tonight, get our numbers, because we're here. And so are the Hopeaholics. So thanks, guys. Happy 24.
Awesome. Thank you so
Bex.
much, Bex. Kate is ready, is what I see
Yes.
in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Kate, grateful recovering addict. Thank you for your share. I really resonated with you, especially like the getting sober during COVID. I got sober in September, like 3 months before the world shut down here in Canada, and I struggled a lot. I also really resonate. I was on coke, crack, and Dilaudid, and I was sniffing Dilaudid for the longest time because I got prescribed them from a car accident, and it went from like eating them to sniffing them. And I was also selling at the time, and then I got raided, and I couldn't go back to my house, so I was staying with a friend. And she was shooting pills, and she kept asking me like, do you want to try it? Do you want to try it? And I was like, nope, I don't like needles. Like, even when I used to go get tattoos, like my tattoo artist wasn't allowed to show me the clean needles because I would literally walk out of there. And I passed out. We were getting ready, waiting for my buddy to go re-up. And I woke up to her pulling a needle out of my arm, and she got right over my face, like nose to nose. And she's like, do you feel it yet? Do you feel it? And I literally almost overdosed on the pill because she gave me way too much. And she's like, oh, you feel it. And then I tried sniffing pills for like 4 days, and I could not get high. And I think I only lasted like 3, maybe 4 months, like shooting pills. And a friend of mine who's seen how bad she's like, I don't want to give you an ultimatum, but like, I'm really scared you're gonna die. She's like, your mom doesn't know anything about like what you're doing. And she's like, you have 2 weeks to go to your mom, or like I'm going to, because like your daughter's not going to have a daughter or a mother to grow up with, and all of this. And I went and asked my mom for help like 11 days later, and completely just got clean on her couch with like Suboxone. and I was on Suboxone for a few years. Like that and the drugs like completely destroyed my teeth. Like a year and a half into my recovery, they took all of my teeth out, and I've been in the process now for like the last couple months of like getting implants, and because I've had a couple sets of teeth made, but like I have a bone density problem, so I don't have enough bone in my mouth to like hold in my teeth, and like all of these great things are happening, and that's another thing I resonate with a lot is like how much better my life gotten over the years, like in sobriety. I agree that the first year was like really rough, but like, through it, I was still kind of dabbling with the coke for a little bit, and then I almost lost my daughter. I was on like a safety plan with like CPS, and that kind of really snapped me out of it. And I've been clean like ever since. Yeah, I have so many good things happening. Like I took my daughter to Disney in October of last year, and that alone, like I honestly never thought I was gonna live to see the day. It was like the only thing I wanted to do with her entire life, like growing up, was like take her to Disney at a young age, because like I never got to have that like when I was a kid. And it's like it's just crazy to see like all the things now that like I'm able to do. And I used to be so like shameful and like guilt ridden like with my addiction. Like I couldn't even be proud of myself for getting clean or anything like that. And like this Hopeaholics meetings and like my 3A family, like I feel like I'm finally reaching a point. Like I was doing affirmations in the mirror the other day, and like it just came out of my mouth. I was like, I am grateful for my addiction. And like it kind of shocked me when it like came out of my mouth, because I've been so ashamed and like everything of it. But like being with all you people here and like all of 3A people, and I don't know, everybody just making me like grateful for like the experience, because like I have so much empathy and so much care, and I want so much more for addicts, and I've always had a special place for them because it runs in my family. Like I just have so much empathy and like so much compassion and like just like passion to like want to help people now. And I honestly don't think I ever would be in this position if I had never joined a meeting. And like I was one of the people that used to think they were so stupid that it was never going to help me. And like I just started joining them in November, and like they've completely changed my life. And like what you guys are doing here, like there was like 73 people I think in this meeting earlier.
There's 75.
And
There's
it's the highest
75.
I've seen. And
Don't miss
I
the
hope
two.
you guys know how many lives that you are changing, and I just think it's really great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And I'm sorry that I overspoke on you, but I wanted to get those two other people that were in there, because you're right. The meeting is growing, so shout out to all you guys that are coming over from 3A and spreading it, because it means a lot to us. I think the highest number that I saw when I glanced down trying to go in the chat was 75. So
Oh, you guys
we
hit 75
We
for
poppin',
the
y'all.
first time. Yeah.
What?
But it's
That's
because of
pretty
you
dope.
guys. It's because of you guys consistently sharing it with one another and the 3A family, and we appreciate it. Morgan. Oh my God, there's a lot of hands.
Hi.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to share tonight because I'm so sick, but I just feel like I needed to. So if I sound nasally or sick, that's because I am very sick today. I think that's why I feel like I just needed to share more. I've had a really bad day, but I'm still sober. So I think that's what is making this day so much better, even though there's so many bad things happening. Because this morning, I was super sick and I had to go to work, and I found a tumor on my dog I've never seen before. And I'm a vet tech, so I knew that it looked like a sketchy tumor. So I was like, oh God. So because I'm me, I had a full-on panic attack at 9 in the morning and couldn't breathe and all that. But I just am trying to remember that God has a plan, and that, like my dog is my life. He knows that if he's going to take her from me or something, there's got to be a reason for that and all that stuff. But between those two things, I had a bad morning, and I've just been struggling with sobriety in general. But the fact that on such a bad day I'm sober, I think gives me a lot of hope. And I'm really glad that I have the Hopeaholics family, because I think it really does help me. Coming here on Tuesdays has been like huge for me lately. So I'm just very thankful for that. One thing, thank you for the speaker today as well. When you said, I knew I was done, I just didn't know how to stop. I was like, oh my gosh, that is exactly how I felt before I like first got clean and everything. So there's just that as well. But yeah, I just wanted to share that had a rough day, but I'm sober and that's big for me. And I have a sponsor that I'm meeting with in the morning for the first time ever. So that's also a really big thing. And I'm just very grateful for this family on here. So thank you.
Heck yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Chuck Zamzo.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Chuck.
Chuck.
I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Chuck.
Grateful I woke up today instead of coming to. You guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. Man, great share. And, I went on Zoom yesterday for 3A for the first time. It was really good meeting, really good message on there too, just like tonight. Carrying the message is what I heard out of there. Plus, I was thinking about when I was reading out of 12 and 12 yesterday on Tradition 5 about these belligerent Irishmen, that story. And I remember that at the end is that they weren't trying to sell me anything, but they sold me on sobriety. Mm. And what I mean by that is that when I came back in when I was 30, those guys weren't trying to sell me on a vacuum cleaner or anything. There's no pitch. There was no nothing. They sold me on sobriety and coming back. And there was that traction rather than promotion. So they weren't the old crusty guys like I'd imagine too, having cigarettes and drinking a lot of coffee and donuts either. And I'm grateful for those three guys that I ran into. And today is a good day. And I remember listening, hearing that each year that I'm sober, each year it gets better. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Every year that I was sober, I look back, I'm like, man, there's a lot of things I got done this year. I got a lot of things that were going on that I'm like, how is this happening? And I remember my sponsor, Ed, saying, well, you kept coming back and you're suiting up and showing up and you're being of service. And the higher power thing was a little weird for me too. I thought it was somebody that was just going to, I don't know, it was a hateful God or something, but I like that too, where I can sit. I've sat next to many priests in meetings. It doesn't bother me. I actually get along with them, have good conversations. And, it's like when I could talk to my sister, she's really heavily into religion, and I can go talk to somebody who's Buddhist or whatever. I love the melting pot of everything that comes in to the rooms or outside the rooms or everywhere I go and meet. Because I'm always learning something, and I always strive to learn for something. With each and every person that I meet, because I don't meet people by accident. And God's doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. And God really shows up mysterious ways. I figured that out, whether I like it or not. So be careful what I wish for. But I like how that I'm a satisfied customer. I wrote that down in my book today, because I like to write down all them things that I hear in every place I go. And at least I'm not feeling nuts today, not using the steps. And then I can really relate to the RIDS, restless, irritable, discontent. I get the same way too, man. If somebody's really on me, I got to take a 10, walk away. And I'm usually pretty good. But great message tonight, and that's all.
Thanks, Chuck. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Mr. and Mrs. iPad. Mr. iPad.
Hello there.
Hello there.
This is Wes. I don't know. Is my stomach picture on there?
Nope. Just your iPad.
All right. Well, sorry about that, folks. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't able to hear the first share for the 30-minute guy, but I'm glad that he's doing good and you're sober, man. Sober dobers all the way, I always say. Actually, that's my first time saying it, but it sounded it, right? So suicide prevention is talking to somebody is a must. That is a key. I've had 7 suicide attempts in my life. 2 before I got paralyzed, and 5 came less than a year after I got paralyzed from the neck down. God did grant me with the ability to use the first 2 knuckles of my left hand, and that's how I operate and control my entire iPad as well as voice detect, which I'm grateful for as well. before I forget, I want to give a shout out and a big thank you to all you guys who prayed for my sister and my family. My sister was in the hospital with pneumonia and MRSA in her bronchial, and she was in the hospital in the ICU for a week on a ventilator, and she got released to go home about 4 days ago. So I'm grateful to you guys. I'm grateful to God for that. Thank you guys for being the community that you guys are, and friends, and I consider you guys all family. Molly down. For the girl who found the tumor on her dog, I'm so incredibly sorry about that. My family had to put our oldest dog down. He was almost 19 human years old, so he lived a good long life. But I've died 5 times, and God's brought me back to life every single time, literally from the dead. So I'm living, breathing, power wheelchair rolling, absolute and undeniable proof that God is real and miracles are real each and every day. So I pray that God completely heals your dog of any and all medical and health issues. And I pray that he's restored to full and complete health. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray these things. Amen. And that's it for me this time, guys. I'm doing great. Yeah, keep doing what you guys do, and thank you guys for all the support and for being you. A lot of people, a lot of us wouldn't be sober if it weren't for the help of you guys. So I owe my sobriety to God and to my family, and you guys are my family. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, Wes.
Thanks, Wes.
Kelly.
Hey everybody. Happy to be here. I'm sorry I forgot your name, the guest speaker, but thank you for sharing. You said staying stopped. That is so fucking huge for me. Staying stopped. I love that you said that, because staying stopped for me is really hard right now in my life with things that I'm dealing with. And as a alcoholic, any fucking bad thing that happens, that is my excuse. Oh, I get to drink because I'm having a bad day. My son passed. I have to drink. I have to do this. Dealing with the trauma and pain is very hard for me right now. I have my days where I don't want to keep feeling this fucking pain. I don't want to feel the pain that I lost my son, because he should still fucking be here. I don't want to feel the pain of other families living the pain that I'm feeling of losing my child, because that's just not normal. So staying stopped is hard for me. It should be easy, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. What you all are doing with the Hopeaholics, let me tell you, you've inspired me to grieve out loud, be real out loud, share things out loud that people may be suffering in silence about. And I am determined to stay stopped, and I'm trying, and today I'm sober, and I'm happy for that, and I'm proud of myself for that, because I had a really fucked up day today. I had a really bad day. I'm sorry, I'm cussing a lot. I had a really, really bad day today, and I didn't drink, and it was a really shitty day. I requested all my son's pictures of the scene of the day he passed. And I don't know why I did that to myself. I had already seen him put in a fucking bag. I don't know why I did that, but I did. And I didn't drink. So I am just I'm proud of myself today. I'm proud of being here with you all. And the spreading awareness and prevention is freaking key to helping prevent other youth from going down the path that we've all been down. And that's my goal, is to stay stopped so I can help protect and prevent others from going down these horrible paths that we've all been through. I love everything you all are doing, and you have given me so much hope and so much courage and strength, and I just love you all for that. This is only my second time on here with you guys, but I follow you. I have sincere love for you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And you're definitely in our thoughts and prayers every single day.
And guys, bear with me. Like, Kelly, I'm trying to write actually a message for everybody, but I see you guys at each other. I don't know how to do that, so that way you can see it. So forgive me if I'm like messing up the chat. So,
Somebody will put it in the chat for you how to do it.
yeah, I don't know how to add it.
Joe.
Wow, guys. I didn't even think I'd get a chance to talk. It's 10 o'clock. I'm doing my inventory.
Nice.
Figured the night's
Nice.
over. But,
Nice.
I'll say something. Joe, I'm an alcoholic. I forgot your name, buddy. I'm really sorry, but that was a great qualification. I identified with a couple of things. The first thing you said really hit me. You said, well, as long as I'm not overdosing, I'm doing drugs successfully, basically. Right? That's what I thought, too, until I OD'd. And then, I was thinking about the insanity part of this disease that I remember when I did OD. It was accidental, but fentanyl, I didn't know I was taking it, but it was there. It dropped me in a pool, and thank God the ambulance came to save me. The next day, I did it all over again. I just told myself, don't do that. I woke up, I started drinking. I was drinking Black Claws, which is embarrassing in itself, but I was drinking them anyway. And, it just got even crazier for a few more weeks after that. And then I went to rehab for a second time. First time I had no idea about anything. I just went. I thought after 3 months I'd be cured. There's no cure. I came home during the pandemic and, I was a dry drunk, which I didn't know what that meant at the time. But I just wasn't doing step work. I was doing Zoom meetings, which I didn't care. I was there for the social aspect. I was going through sponsors like I go through, razor blades. For shaving, not for anything other than that. But, I really didn't understand my disease. And people kept saying, pray on it, pray on it, pray on it. I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know what to pray for. So fast forward to this time around, I came home and I kind of just started paying attention more, and I understood. I didn't pray for things. I prayed for the ability to do things. When it came to that spiritual awakening, I never got it. I was always waiting for like someone to come down from the sky and grab me or start talking to me. And my sponsor's like, if you start hearing voices, go to the hospital because you're not supposed to hear voices. That's not how it works, And what really got me to my spiritual awakening was just I kept doing the right thing, even though I didn't want to, even though it would make the road so much harder for me, even though it would. I felt like if I do the right thing, first of all, what is the right? What would Jesus do? Sometimes I don't always know, but I know he wouldn't do that. Some of the stuff I've done or I was thinking of doing, so it made it easier. I had to start following the 10 Commandments, which I never thought I would, but I did. And it made things a lot easier. And the spiritual awakening I got was just, it felt really good to do good. It really did. There's no greater feeling. It's like, I would get this feeling in my body. Right? I think this was my spiritual awakening. I would, when the first high of the day is always the best one, right? That's how I would feel naturally from doing something that nobody's seen me doing, helping someone no one's seen me help. And it was amazing. And I never want to get rid of that feeling because it lasted a lot longer than any high I could have had. So I just want to thank you for that. I love this meeting. I'm so happy I'm able to join it. There's 2 weeks in a row. I don't plan on missing the next one. So thank you very much, guys.
Awesome.
Attaboy,
Thanks so
Joe.
much, Joe. I just want to, we have Alicia, we have a lot of hands up still. And we actually are, we have this thing where we don't ever stop the meeting until the people that want to share. But Alicia will be the last one since her hand's already up.
Okay. And Joe said he might buy us dinner. I just want to let him know that I like my steaks rare.
Oh, Joe, are we going to meet you in New York?
Yeah,
or
Joe's
what?
in New York, and he said it's his hometown. He might buy dinner, so we'll see. He might take me out himself. I don't know what's going to happen. We're not
by
sure.
Yourself.
What?
Well, I'm just saying.
Who are you?
Shane's weird.
All right, the three
He's
of us.
Canadian.
All right, whatever. He's buying dinner.
He said he'll buy all
Oh
dinner.
my God. Just giving a shout out. I love you all for helping me because I figured it out.
Okay, so what you do is the @ sign,
And then I
you
use
start
the
to-
arrow button down.
Yeah.
And I'm in.
Amazing.
Natalie's eyes are wide
sorry,
open.
who's up-
saucers?
who's
She's
up
got, her
right now?
eyes are saucers right now. She's so excited.
Steven, you're up.
Steven.
I'm so bad at these things.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
Steven.
up, guys? My name's Steven. I'm an alcoholic. I have, God willing, I'll have 23 months on the 28th.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
But the last 6 or so months, I've been a dry drunk. I've given up on service commitments, and I've just been lying to people. I've been saying I'm fine. And this past weekend, I just completely broke down. The obsession of drink has left me. I don't feel the need to drink, but I haven't gotten anything out of meetings because I haven't been going, and it's really taken a toll on my mental health. And I'm recommitting to a 90 and 90.
Nice.
I've gotten back with the sponsor I had at first. I ended up firing him because his wife and I got into an argument, and I did not want to be uncomfortable and apologize for my part that I played in it. So I thought the easiest thing to do would be to fire him and find a sponsor I could easily walk over. Granted, I fired him as I was starting step 4. Got with another sponsor who I knew would let me go easy on it. I'm very grateful that I've gotten back into it this past week with him. We hammered it out, hammered a lot of stuff out Sunday, and I told him I would just show up to as many meetings, raise my hand, and let people know where I'm at. I'm supposed to be in Austin, Texas right now, but I threw out wanting to be around my Waipaw family because I was so comfortable living in this mess that I'm in. So I appreciate everyone who shared before me. I appreciate you guys having this meeting, and I thank you for letting me share.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you sharing.
It's amazing how you can hear the pain in the people's voices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just takes what it takes to get to where we got to go.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for recommitting to 90 and 90.
Yeah.
Man. You know, it's that's where it's at, man.
That is where it's at,
Well,
man.
no, where it's at is like I love the fact that he's in pain right now, but he knows the solution.
Right.
And that's where we find like we suffer, but there's
miserable.
a solution. Yes, but he knows the solution, and he's actively doing
Yes,
it. And
that's
what I
what's
love.
huge, man.
You
I
shared
love
about
that.
it tonight.
Yeah, that's awesome. And to swallow your juice and go back to your old sponsor. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a big step right there, man. That's huge.
That's what we got to do.
did.
We got
Those are
to.
all the things we have to do.
Have to. Okay.
Now,
All right, Josh.
Josh.
Hey, what's up, guys? I am a grateful, satisfied customer of my recovery.
Heck yeah.
And, dude, first off, I love what you guys are doing with the Hopeaholics podcast, man. I watch every freaking episode. This is the first meeting I've been able to get into. I'm really glad that I got here, and it won't be my last meeting. But I spent 25 years. Great share, by the way, man.
Thank you.
Really resonated with a lot of your share. I spent 25 years sticking a needle in my arm, and every year it progressively got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Meth and fentanyl at the end were my poisons of choice, and I've gratefully been clean in recovery right now for over 2 years, and my life is progressively getting better. Just actually got the phone call on Sunday that I just got my first place to live that's all my own since stepping into recovery. And that is a huge, huge milestone for me, man. It's been probably, 15 years since I actually had a real home and a place that was my own. So just wanted to share where I was at, man, and thank everybody for your shares. I appreciate you guys. You know, the louder we can recover, the more people that we can inspire to join us on this journey, man. So I dropped my card in the chat. There's an awesome recovery movement going on in a small town in Tennessee. We'd love for you to join us. The Daily Struggle 931 Facebook group. nothing major, man. Just a bunch of people that I know that we're lucky enough to make it out and not die. And we're recovering out loud, man. So I love you guys. Thank you for what you do, and thank everybody for your shares tonight. Thank you guys for your service.
Heck yeah, man.
hell yeah.
I like it when people from other parts of the country are recovering out loud, dude. Huh?
Oh yeah,
Like
me too, man. It's a good night,
right?
Yeah.
All right, Ashton F. 4/25/22.
Yeah. He just had a birthday a little while ago.
Yeah,
Or no, we're in 6 now.
we're in 7, bro.
So are we in 7?
Yeah, it's 7.
No, where I come from.
In Canada, it's still June. Right, Beck?
Shit, in Canada, it's
all right.
the fucking
Mimi's up.
1900s.
Mimi?
Hi, Mimi.
The
Hi there,
fire
guys.
clicked in my
Oh, Ashton's back.
Sorry, guys. Hi, my name's Ashton. I'm an alcoholic, and I really like your share. I also just wanted to say a quick shout out to Kelly. I'm glad you showed up today, even though you're having like a really, really rough day and you're going through it. I'm glad that you showed up. I really like the thought of it being a movement, especially because I'm seeing a lot more videos online and content of people at large concerts giving out test packs for fentanyl and Molly and all these other things. And it's been kind of like a controversial conversation that I've had because, sorry, I'm also sick. I think that it's a great thing that if people are going to be doing drugs, which they are, right? That these test kits should be given out. I think that this is something that definitely needs to catch on a little bit more. Everyone in my town, I'm from San Diego, and everyone from the small town I live in, all of my friends carry around Narcan. And everyone in San Diego gives it out for free as far as like clinics and stuff. And I think that's just huge. But I think the biggest impact that I've seen isn't just like society and everything. I think it's like the smaller groups of friends that I have. Because once one of us got sober, now I have 5 or 6 friends from my original friend group who have not only survived to make it to sobriety, but actually have continued their sobriety. And it's not because I was going to the bar and telling them, hey, you need to get sober. You know what I mean? Like they just finally got to a point where they sadly saw me go through it. And so by the time that they recognized that in themselves, they were like, fuck, I need help. You know what I mean? And I think that it's very understated that just being sober, you don't even realize how many people's lives you can change. And the Hopeaholics, I think, stand for that. And 3A stands for that. Because we didn't think, oh, we're going to go out and change the world when we got sober. But we found a group of people with the same like-mindedness. And I think that that is massive, especially because now we're trying to kind of like, join forces. And I've invited at least 6 people over the last month to either 3A or Hopeaholics. And I've had great success in those meetings and the feedback and just everything. You guys are filled with this love that's very hard to explain. I was just talking to Laura actually earlier, and I was like, this room is just full of love. It's absolutely full of love. You can't, it's like, it's almost intoxicating in itself. And for me to feel that in just a Zoom meeting is really incredible. Cause for me, it's very much, I like the camaraderie and the personability, like face to face, but to find that kind of love in this Zoom room is just really incredible. So I just want to say thank you for the movement that you guys have started, and thank you for joining 3A and for having us. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I'll be here every Tuesday as long as I can.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate that. Mimi.
Hello.
Hello.
Again.
Hi, Mimi.
It finally dawned on, because the song, again with lyrics. Sorry, I'm a music snob. Anyways, it finally dawned on me what these lyrics meant when I believe it was you, Natalie, said that I'm adding this part, you didn't say this, just like cancer, addiction does not discriminate. It's from Skin on Your Teeth, which is by Demi Lovato. It came out in 2022. God damn, I just want to be free, but I can't because it's a fucking disease. I'm alive by the skin of my teeth. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I'm your son and I'm your daughter. I'm your mother, I'm your father. I'm just the product of the problem. And then she repeats the other lines again, and then at the end she says, I'm alive. I'm like, oh, dang. That's what she was saying. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care how old, how young, if you're rich, poor, whatever. It just comes and takes from you. And I didn't realize until someone said it tonight that it doesn't, addiction, whatever, doesn't discriminate against anything. That's all that I wanted to share.
I love it. It's
Thank
true.
you, thank you.
It's
It
true.
is.
And it's just a reiteration exactly of what the point is. And the point is that, it's not just one particular stereotype of an individual that ends up as an addict or an alcoholic. You can come up from an amazing family, or you could come up with a really dysfunctional one. We're all the same.
Hey, Crystal, how are you? 22323.
Hi everyone. My name is Crystal and I'm an alcoholic. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
I've been coming to these meetings for a while. This is my first time sharing when I can make it. But first I wanted to thank the speaker. I'm also a rockaholic. My first concert I went to was Bad Religion and I was sober.
Nice.
But the last concert I went to was Aftershock, which I was looking forward to because Metallica was playing twice.
Ooh.
And it was, for some reason, I knew that it was James Hetfield's first concert after getting out of rehab. So super excited. I can't really tell you much about that whole concert, the 4 days I went to, because I was drunk most of it, and it's sad because it's like my whole life, like I've wanted to see them live and what a waste, right? Like, so I haven't been back to a concert because I don't know if I'm like ready yet. Plus, I don't know, nerves, right? I have to prepare myself, but I really appreciated hearing your story. So thank you for coming up. And I really like the message of living out loud. I really related to, I think it was Steven talking about struggling with recovery, because I feel like it's like I'm in a constant state of senioritis sometimes. Like, when is this going to be over? But then it's like, that's the days that I'm having bad days, and then good days I'm like, yeah, this is like rock on. This is really good. This is a good like recovery. So it's hard because, you're going to have that kind of like algebraic sine wave where you're going up and you're going down. And I'm just trying to live life mediocre and have as few ups and downs as possible. For me, being able to relate, like, I'm an ER nurse who's in recovery. I worked ER trauma and I used to give Narcan. Like, I've seen the worst of the worst cases, and being sober now and in recovery, I have this new like heart, and I have this new way of looking at people, because, a lot of nurses can be pretty harsh, and I'm grateful, but I'm also scared because we can't really talk to each other, right? You can't really tell people you're in recovery because there's still this huge stigmatism in healthcare, this huge stigmatism. Like, you tell someone you're in recovery and it's like you're saying, I have lice. Like, no joke. They just don't want anything to do with you. They run away faster, and maybe they have their own stuff, because I also have like depression, anxiety. I worked through COVID and just had this really bad breakdown to where I ended up in the diversion program with the state, which is another like group of people where they try and say you're not stigmatized, but they just stigmatize you more. So then seeing people who are out and loud and talking to people like you, it's like, I don't see a difference between my background and your background, except for the fact that we're all here for the same reason, trying to keep each other lifted. And so I appreciate you coming out. And I have told, like, I've shared this with, I'm in some nursing groups and doctor groups of AA, to tell them, like, you guys should come see this group. Like, they make you feel so positive, because a lot of them, they won't go to in person. I'm in Orange County, California, but they won't go to in person. I'm like, if someone wants to shame me for being sober, that sounds like a fun problem, because I should have been more ashamed of the fact that I was so drunk during the Metallica thing than should I be ashamed about being sober right now and like a nurse. So it's hard, and it'll get better, and my time's up. So thank you for giving me some time today.
Amazing. Thank you so much Kat.
What up, party people?
Hello.
So here with my 3A family, and y'all,
Yes.
I miss this meeting like every Tuesday because it throws me off. I'm like 6 o'clock. Yeah. But I'm glad I made it to this one. I love speakers. That was incredible. I love that. Let me cough this out real quick. Oh my God. I'm not showing my face because I am working on my dreads, and I'm like, you know what? Dreads are a great way to tell if you're struggling, because if you got nice, clean, maintained dreads, I'm doing fine. But if I got dreads on my dreads and dude, it's been hours I've been working on these. It's so bad. So I'm like, that's my key. That's going to be my little timer there. It's like, are you struggling? How are your dreads look? Anyway, I really wanted to come on here and ask for advice. Is that something I could do?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So I'm like in my recovery and going through things. My husband is a user as well. We both have the same DOC, and we've been on this shit for so long. Like, I moved from Massachusetts to California to get clean. And then the first person I met was a recovering drug addict. And I went, oh, well, he's in recovery, so it's okay. No, that quickly spiraled into both of us using. And we have kids. You hear Ophelia in the background go nuts. And it's just been a secret this whole time, dirty little secret. I've got kids. I've got a job in which, if anybody found out, I probably couldn't do, and like the whole purpose of me like getting clean was so I can, stop hiding. You know what I mean? Just like get clean so I could stop hiding, so I could stop lying, so I could have gone through this period of fun and abuse and loathing and come out it with no one knowing. But I find myself in a place of like wanting to be more involved in the recovery community and wanting to recover out loud, but I can't, because God forbid anybody knows that I've been going through this for the past 5 years. And I just kind of need advice on like how I could recover out loud and also keep it a secret to my family. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, is that even possible? So I'm looking for some advice.
Who wants to take the lead on that one? Me? So I understand the struggle because I feel like I lived a double life for a very long time. Because of just shame and guilt and all the things. But what I have noticed for myself, is you can't do that, because then you're ultimately always going to sit with the lie, in the sense of you're not living your entire, I guess I hate saying it, but like authentic self, because if your family, they love you no matter what. So regardless, if you are on the trajectory of getting better than you were, no one can fault that. And that's the thing, is like, that's why this program is beautiful, because it's a program of attraction rather than promotion. They just got to see you do your thing, and they're going to notice the changes in you by your daily habits and how you show up and how you communicate and how you are for your kids, how you show up to your job. So you coming and saying that you're doing this and working a program, I couldn't see them having a problem with that. But you just have to be, in the right time for you to be able to express that when you're ready to them. Because there's no shame in getting well. There's shame in staying the same and causing destruction around your entire life. I don't know if that helps, but it's a difficult thing. It's hard because we do have the stigma of being in recovery, and I get it. But that's why it's so important for us to recover out loud, to break that stigma, because I really think that every single person would benefit by doing a recovery program. It's all about bettering yourself. Boys, you can add on to that because it's a tough one.
No, that was good.
It's kind of hard to like have people that don't understand, if that makes sense.
For sure,
you know what I
especially
mean?
when
Like
they're
people
normies.
that don't get it won't get it, and like you have to be able to put your recovery before everything. Otherwise you have nothing. Like, that's just how it goes, you know? And I don't know, for me, like, I knew that once The Secret was out, I was like, man, it's going to make getting high really hard, you know? And you have to be honest, you know, like, to yourself and to the others around you. You just have to be honest. And it's like, honesty goes a long way, you know? Don't be afraid of the truth.
Yep. I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
Bianca.
Hi guys.
Hello.
So I guess I was excited to just share. Firstly, this past weekend I hit my 90 days.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I guess it, like, along the way I somehow got like really discouraged this past weekend. The last time I spoke, at least on one of these, like, I was in Colorado. I was trying to relocate, and like, that's coming to life. Like, and I'm supposed to be going on the 13th, and I don't know, there's just like things. It's like I hit this 90 and it like put me in like this weird mind state, I guess. I don't know. But and just like getting back to work when I first came back to Rhode Island, and like speaking on like the stigma, just like it's like everybody wants to all of a sudden just like say things around me that nobody's ever mentioned, like about drinking or this or that. It's almost like a fishing for something. So like that got in my head a lot. But I don't know, I guess I'm just speaking out loud because I've had like a tough time this past weekend, especially like with the holiday coming up and everything, and just struggling with feeling like normal, I guess. But it's like, I thank you for this meeting, because it's like, thank you to the speaker as well. It's like exactly what I did need to hear, and just like the reminder that like to keep pushing and things get better the longer you can do it. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bianca.
Alicia.
We like to sing
Hi.
people's names, if you'd noticed.
I love it.
Seriously.
Alicia, I'm an alcoholic and an addict. I just want to say thank you to everybody for all of the service and the action. Tomorrow, well, in 24 hours, God willing, I'll be celebrating 300 days
Oh my God,
clean
amazing.
of fentanyl and meth. So,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I'm alive, and it's crazy just to even think that I am, and I haven't been, knocking on death's doors weekly. I came really close in the last couple months, and if it weren't for you guys and 3A, I wouldn't be so close to 300 days. So thank you very much, and thank you for everyone sharing.
Nice. Good
Thank
for
you
you.
so much.
Awesome. Thank
That is
you so
awesome.
much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Again-
That was like the best one to end on too.
Yeah, and again, thank you to everyone from the 3A family
Yes,
for showing up
3A.
at the Hopeaholics Recover Out Loud meeting.
Before we take it out, we have a huge celebration to our girl Lena, that is
Lena.
in our group, has been in our group for
Quite a long time.
a very long time. She has officially beat cancer. So shout out to that savage. We absolutely love you, and your strength is absolutely inspiring, because that's incredible, and we know that it is very difficult. So
Yeah, I also really quick before we end, I want to remind everybody the holiday is on Thursday, and those are tough times.
Yeah.
So hit an extra meeting.
Yeah.
If you go, some people are going to see family. I'm going to see family.
I made a game time decision today. I'm gonna go see my parents.
Yeah, awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
It's good. It's
You're going
hard.
for the 4th?
For the weekend.
Okay, cool.
I'll be back on Sunday, boss. Don't worry.
Yeah. And that is it.
But that's
Everybody
good-
needs to
that's a
turn
good
their
point.
cameras on, and we will
we danced it
close
out.
this meeting out.
We love you guys.
Check every page and make sure everybody's camera's on. Every single person.
Or else
We can't close it out until every camera's on. Oh, sorry. My
You
alarm
moved the
went
time.
off. I did. All right.
Okay,
Come
go.
on, everybody.
Come on.
Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Let's go. We're going to dance it out.
Just-
Come on.
God.
God. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
We absolutely
Amen.
love you guys. Thank you. Bye.